I'm not the same Brooklyn you knew.
The ending of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 left many people confused, emotional, and slightly let down. But what exactly happened during the ending scene? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 video. Today, as we always do for a new season of this show, we'll be breaking down and explaining the ending of Chaos Theory Season 2. We've been covering heaps of Chaos Theory content here lately on the channel, so I highly advise you catch up on the videos if you're wanting more videos about Chaos Theory here on YouTube. Don't worry, our content will also continue as we also have lots planned for Chaos Theory in the near future and leading up to Chaos Theory Season 3. Not only that, but Jurassic World Rebirth has had some news very recently that we may cover soon. Jurassic Park Survival's 1 year anniversary since announcement is also coming up, so we're anticipating some news on that. And Jurassic World Evolution 3 could literally be announced any day now. So why not press that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. This way you can stay up to date on all of the latest Jurassic World news here in one place. It doesn't cost you anything, nor does it affect you negatively. Our target for the end of the year is also 250,000 subscribers, so you'd be helping us out a bunch. But for now, after yapping off your ear, I think it's time we sit down, have some snacks, and enjoy your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, as it's time to explain the ending of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. So the ending for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 left some people excited for the future of Chaos Theory, but many people quite let down as it seemed like it was just very underwhelming and it kind of just happened. Something that I did mention in my review was the fact that it kind of happened in a very similar format to Season 1's ending, just with a little bit less action near the end. Now what do I mean by this? Well, if we remember back to Season 1 of Chaos Theory, the ending of this show practically had a massive big boss battle fight, with the Atrociraptors, the Raptor Handler, and even Big E.T. the Tyrannosaurus Rex involving the campers as well. The campers then merely escaped with their lives, became stowaways on a ship and went to an unknown location. In Season 2 of Chaos Theory, whilst there wasn't as much action towards the end of the last episode, what basically happened was that there was some kind of reunion here with the campers, but Brooklyn and Serena Santos decided to fly away into the sunset, not knowing exactly where they are going. So they have quite a similar format here, and that's why some people felt very underwhelmed and let down. We didn't even get a tease like we did at the end of Season 1. So let's try to break down everything we saw from Season 2 exactly to try to explain what precisely went on here in the last episode and what it sets up for the future of Chaos Theory. So the very first thing I want to talk about here is Serena Santos. Now, regarding the ending of the show, we're talking about the last 5 minutes. Serena Santos and Brooklyn arrive to the airstrip where their private jet is waiting, but whilst they're in the van, they have a very interesting conversation. Serena Santos does in fact confirm that the crew have secured Red into the private jet, which is the Atrociraptor that we saw throughout the season. And since we do see the private jet has now left Senegal, this practically means that Red the Atrociraptor will in fact be appearing in Season 3 of Chaos Theory, whenever that might be. But you must be wondering, why is that important? Well, during my full season breakdown that we did a few days ago, we covered that there was a flight going to Malta from the United States very soon. This was back when Brooklyn was working for the DLN, so we can only presume that that flight to Malta contains the other 3 Atrociraptors, with the assumption now that with Serena Santos and Brooklyn flying to Malta, with Red also in this private jet, this might be how Red and the other Atrociraptors are able to reunite with one another. That's just something to think about. But staying in the same scene, whilst they're chatting amongst each other in the van, Serena Santos goes on to confirm that she is now working with Lewis Dodson at Biosyn. Now why is this interesting? Well, if you guys didn't know, Lewis Dodson did in fact appear in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 5, and amongst the campers, only Kenji was aware of his appearance on Isla Nublar. The rest didn't have a clue, but I presume that Kenji did tell them about Lewis Dodson and Biosyn. Biosyn initially wanted to purchase the mind control chips that appeared in Camp Cretaceous, and since we do see actively being used in Jurassic World Dominion, I think it is very safe to say that Lewis Dodson and Biosyn acquired these chips somehow, and that he probably does remember these campers. Not only that, but during Jurassic World Dominion, Serena Santos has a call with Lewis Dodson about what happened last time. Now, we were wondering for so long, what was that last time? What happened during that event? Well, ladies and gentlemen, just as we were speculating for many months now here on the channel, I believe that event correlates to whatever happens in Season 3 or potentially future seasons of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. I believe that what happened last time involves these 6 campers. And that means we are finally going to get an answer as to what exactly happened last time. Now going back to Chaos Theory, when Serena Santos confirms that she is going to be working with Lewis Dodson at Biosyn, this is where Brooklyn has a sudden realization that her mission isn't quite over yet. You can actually see her face be hit with that realization in that moment. And I believe that some people actually miss this reaction and completely overlook it. But this is the very moment she decides to go with Serena Santos. Now, we don't have confirmation regarding this, but I presume her original plan was to get as far as she could with Serena Santos and then completely bail on her. Now, what I assume she was going to do here was the fact that she was going to let Serena Santos go into the aircraft and then maybe Brooklyn was going to run away. This way, Serena Santos was too far away and had her back turned whilst Brooklyn was able to make her escape with her life. But now that Brooklyn is aware that this whole mission is going deeper and darker with Biosyn and Lewis Dodson, I think she's realised that she's got a bigger mission on her hands now and wants to fulfill a bigger story. After all, she is the most adventurous of the campers. So I do believe that she is going to be a part of this Biosyn story that's going to be taking place in Season 3. After she comes to this realization and makes her way to the private jet, the reunion between the campers is made. You can see that she is very sad, upset, remorseful about what happened, about leaving these campers behind, but she's feeling even more self-guilt in herself now because she's realized that she's not going to see them anytime soon and she has to go on this flight. She looks at Kenji all sad, she looks at the campers all sad, and then she looks at Darius and seems to be slightly taken back by it all because, as we know, Darius fell in love with Brooklyn. So upon this reunion, all thoughts are going through her mind. She's wondering, what do I do now? What do I tell them? I wasn't expecting to see them. And this just made leaving the campers behind even harder on herself. But amongst those thoughts in her head, she realizes that she needs to make this sacrifice to find the deeper truth of this all. Whatever this deeper truth might be, we don't know until we get more information regarding Season 3 and its story. But I believe that she is making this sacrifice for the greater good and is making this sacrifice to protect her friends. Now, as Brooklyn turns her back on her friends and gets into that aircraft to protect them and hopefully find a bigger meaning to this story, Ben tells her to wait and explains how Bumpy's egg is in that case. Now, off screen, she hands over the egg and she goes and sits down with Serena Santos and confirms that the campers won't bother them anymore. Serena Santos opens the case and sees an egg missing, but she smiles. So I presume that she has just assumed here that Brooklyn has decided to pay off the campers by sparing Bumpy's egg to tell them to leave us alone. However, we don't get to see exactly what happened here off screen. And as we saw through part 1 and part 2 of the Lab Partners, which are episode 8 and 9 of Chaos Theory Season 2, we see that different things happen off screen. So what I think has happened here is the fact that Brooklyn has handed over Bumpy's egg, has said goodbye to the campers, and then she's discussed with the campers saying, "This is my plan, this is what I've discovered so far, you cannot follow me and you have to let me go. I promise at some stage we will reunite again, but this goes deeper than between you and I." She's probably said something of the sorts because, as you can see, the campers, they're not fighting for her to stay. They've got the egg, they just watch her leave with sadness. And that's probably because they know who her character is, they know exactly who Brooklyn is herself. And they've come to the realization that the only thing that they can do right here is let her be, let her go, and then maybe try to follow her later down the line with another story. So this piece of dialogue probably is what happened off screen between the point of where Brooklyn decides to hand over Bumpy's egg, and that explains why the campers don't fight for her to stay, but instead let her go. But where exactly are they letting her go? Well, to me, considering the information that we have and considering the timeline that Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 takes place in, there's only 2 options here. One of which is Malta, since we do know the events of Malta happen within the next month on this timeline. So we do know that Serena Santos is going to be in Malta very soon, the Atrociraptors likewise. However, since we do have the mention of Biosyn and specifically Lewis Dodson, and because this show still takes place before Jurassic World Dominion, there's also the possibility that we could be seeing them fly to Italy within the Dolomites and appear in the Biosyn Sanctuary. This would be really cool and a great opportunity to maybe even have Ramsey Cole appear in the show and also Lewis Dodson to reappear once again. But other than Valletta in Malta or the Dolomites in Italy, The only other place I could think of is Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, but even still, that doesn't seem as likely as the other two. So what I firmly believe here is that Suona Santos has taken Brooklyn and Red over to Italy to the Dolomites to complete their deal with Biosyn. After that, maybe in a season 4 or at the end of season 3, they then fly over to Malta, meet the rest of the Atrociraptors, and the story ends there and then bleeds into the Malta sequence in Jurassic World Dominion. But that is just a theory, a chaos theory. So there we have it. To me, since we did theorize this since before Chaos Theory Season 1 even released, Biosyn is going to be playing a major focus in the 3rd season of Chaos Theory. And, once again, as we theorized here on the channel about 5 months ago, Suona Santos will lead the main villain story in this show, with it potentially finalizing in Malta and bleeding into the events of Jurassic World Dominion. The executives did actually confirm to me that they weren't given the green light to go beyond Dominion, so this story will have to end relatively soon, and I have a feeling that they aren't going to be producing as much as 5 seasons like they did with Camp Cretaceous. Perhaps only just the 3, which would mean that the next season may be the end for Chaos Theory. But that's just a guess, so don't get too upset about that information. Either way, I really believe here that they're making their way over to Malta or potentially Italy, and the story will end somewhere there mere moments before the Malta sequence in Jurassic World Dominion. If you enjoyed today's video and felt like I explained the ending very well, do consider giving it a like, as it really helps the video to grow to more audiences. Why not also comment your thoughts about where they are going to in the comments below, and subscribe if you're new around here to stay up to date on all of the latest Jurassic World news. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.